Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Can you hear? Hello, hello. Hope you can hear. Yeah, our course will get start within several minutes. So hope you can see the screen clearly and also hear my voice. Okay. So hello again. Welcome to the course. And this is Jackie. Still today we are going to learn some of the useful functions and also today's topic. Okay, we have today's topic is something related to the walkthrough editor. Also, what may you have known before the Panorama editor. Yeah, today we are going to talk about some of the detailed settings in this kind of a tool. Okay, yeah, because here, as you see, if you know about our tools, yeah, you know, in the Coohom design tool, we can generate not only pictures but also what we call the panoramas. But only a few of you may know about something related to the VR tool, okay, the whole house roaming, and also some detailed function settings, okay, related to this kind of a tool. And today I'm going to show you, okay, I'm going to show you some of the segments and the functions. Yeah, you after that you might know how can we directly use the panorama or the render output, turn them to some of the tools that help us to push the business from the design, basically from the design work to the final making deal. Okay, so before that, here I would like to invite you to take a look. If you want, I can also share the link. I can also share the link with you. So here, actually, the first link is here. I can directly send to the chatting box. Hope you can see. Okay, you can take a look. And also here, if you can't directly click the link or you can't receive that message, it's fine. You can directly take a look here. Something different from our previous word. For example, first you have the map, and the second you have different dimensions you can go. Okay, unlike those kind of independent panel, you can only stand there, you can't move. But here if you render for different panoramas and then combine them together, you will have this kind of a viewing. And also you can see here, for example, storage show. Yeah, in this kind of tool, we can also use some of the function, for example, to take some of the animations, for example, to from the status changing, and for example, to some other element combination changing. See, some of the combinations. Yeah, you can also change just within one of the viewing. And also we can do some of the settings. Yeah, even for the same production. See, we can also create manually to create some combination regarding the status comparison. And even for more, if you take a look here, for example, yeah, you see, we can also create some combination day with light or date light off or night. Yeah. And also with, for example, customizing. See, some of the customizing, saying if you want to compare with the changings, really precise changing or directly a big one. Yeah, you have some comparison only within one link. Okay, within one link. And talking about comparison, we even have some kind of function like this. Okay, let me show you. See, yeah. You can also compare. You can also compare within one view with the design result, comparing to some everything's from, for example, for the default settings. Okay, so you can have so many ways to tell the client that your design artwork, and even here I can also show you some of the settings that how can we do it. Okay, so turning back, yeah, first this is awesome. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think some of the functions you can directly use and try. Okay, before that, we first need to have these elements. Okay, 360 walkthrough, also known as the panorama render. Okay, in rendering, we need to have some preparation. And then first, the basic topic is the 720-degree VR tool. It's kind of a roaming tool. Okay, what we talk about, though, the functions below, they are all under the light. Okay, light 722 VR tool. Don't use the smart. Yeah, in smart you have less, only have some of the function. If you use the light, you can generate quite a lot. Yeah, and in this render, actually, since today we are talking about the editor, the panorama editor or walkthrough editor, you actually, for the independent, okay, for the independent panels, you can also have the independent editor to use. Yeah, but today I would like to show you the final thing. That also what we talked about quite a lot of time, to use the whole house roaming rather than only one fixed angle to show the client. Because for the client, they are willing to have different viewings, whether it's far away with the whole, for example, the entire view, or I want to get close-ups viewings. I can use the different angles to get a different render, okay, and combine them. Remember to combine in this 720 VR tool. Okay, so first I would like to show you two combination. Generate the light. Okay, and then here generate the light. For example, the combination of the 720 VR tool. Here you can see we have some of the selections. And actually for this kind of, this case, you see, actually for this case, you might find something. For example, here, the combination, see, these are the same with the same render. But what's the difference? What do you think was the difference? For example, let me just show you that. Yeah, you can see actually here we got one of the independent. This is one independent render result, and here we have this kind of hidden doors. But in another, for example, here, see that result is different because we render it as door open, and also we got a portable trolley, and also to move aside and then show some of the details. Yeah, but the same thing it happened is the render. It only have the different between the close and open status. So just pay attention about this one, okay? We have different thing. We can have some of the things changing the status, but still with the same angle. Render in the under the same angle, then you can have it. And then what you need to do is to select, for example, to select the proper angle that you prefer. For example, here for generate a very basic roaming tool, we suggest we use for example the start point. Yeah, the start point at the foyer or at least at the main position of the room, for example, living room. Yeah, if you want to get a really proper viewing, the simulation of entering to the house, the first selection is always the foyer. So select the foyer, the entrance, and then click all the rest. Yeah, but just pay attention. Don't click, okay? Don't click those duplicate ones. For example, just now we have this viewing. Yeah, the duplicate, you need to select at least one, but don't select, okay, in here, you can't just directly select these two, because later you will find conflict in the replacing settings. So just pay attention about it. The same for the scenario, comparing, okay? And then click generate. Yeah. The first thing we here talked about is the walkthrough editor, the basic thing. First, you need to have the walkthrough, right? Then we can talk about the editor. So where is the editor? After you finish the generating, you have this pencil here. This is the walkthrough editor. Officially, we now access to the tool. Yeah, it's hidden on the upper right side corner. So when you need to use that, you need to put your mouse and then click walkthrough. Okay. And now we can access to the editor itself. And today we are going to do some basic analysis, and so I will show you some of the demos about how can we use this kind of a tool. So first here, the basic setting, the global setting. And you can see here we got a map. Okay, this is the map that you can directly click to jump to. And also you can have so many different dots directly related to different viewings. Okay, but later we can use the dot hotspot, okay, to do some modification. And just one tiny tips for you, if you want to have a proper viewing for the full house design, we don't suggest you render too much. For example, for a big room like the living room with dining area, what you need is maximize 5 is enough. Yeah, 5 different angles is enough, and you don't need to render too much. These are all those independent panoramas. Yeah, but just in here in the walkthrough editor, you combine by using the 720 VR tool. Yeah, to combine them. And also here, first one is the roaming setting, the roaming room setting. The biggest target is to select a proper start point. Yeah, some of the users they might just ignore this, and then from the very beginning they might have a very strange starting point. For example, sometimes start like this, and then some of the clients they really don't know where am I. Yeah, so which may cause some confusing. So what you need to do is to select the point around the entrance. It's the best. Select as the starting entrance, okay? And then regenerate. Yeah, for example, if you change to anything, regenerate, okay? So this is the roaming, first is the general roaming setting. And the second is the lens setting here. Mainly for the using is just to change about some of the status. For example, some areas start as the angle. My suggestion, you can just leave as the default setting. It's fine. You don't need to change this one. But if you really want to have the precise viewing, for example, the different perspective range, big or small, you can also change that. But most of the time, you don't need to care about this. For example, if you have a really big angle seen here, yeah, it drags the lines and the border boundaries. It looks really not so good. For the most of the time, I don't want to change that. Yeah, stay with the normal angle as the human eyesight. You can see just like this, maximize like this, okay? And maximize the vertical viewing, all the angles, it's fine, okay? If you don't want it, reset to all the default, it's okay. And if you want set as the starting angle, this is just to invite the client to let them have a proper interesting. For example, once they see the cover of the panorama, and this kind of a picture can attract them immediately to turn to click and to access to the panorama. So just pay attention here. Set as the starting point. Then it's fine. And also some of the switch setting. For example, if you want, you can activate the auto rotate. Then here it will move. Yeah, some of the users, they don't prefer this one. They click off because they want the clients to manually to roam or do the roaming with their fingers. Yeah, it's fine. It's up to your choice. And hotspot, my suggestion, activate, because otherwise you don't know where you are and you don't know where to click and to go. Okay. And also here, opening animation is about the default the access to the panorama from the very beginning. Is it from the astral viewing like this one, or is just horizon viewing? Just remain with the default setting. Yeah, it will be a kind of attractions and inviting, like feeling like inviting to the client. Okay, so if you want, activate them. Yeah, then you can save and reassess them. You can see that. Okay, this is the first, very basic. The second is the beautify. My suggestion, you don't need to change unless you feel like all the artwork or your result, you just want to have immediate changing for the color, for the color temperature, for the different the feelings, the design styles you want to change, you can use this one. And then just don't forget apply to other things, right? And then you can all have this render result with the unique lights, unique color temperatures. Yeah, so this kind of thing is really easy. It's due to your preference. If you want, you can just use this one to adjust. And also we have the different advanced using for the picture index, for example, brightness, contrast. Okay, these are also available. You can also save as the current template. Maybe sometimes you just need to just directly use. Yeah, you use the render outcome. It's fine. Okay, now the third one, today's main topic. Okay, today's main topic, very important, the hotspot. In our render result, especially the roaming tool, this kind of a roaming tool, we call all these buttons, okay, all these buttons, hotspot. Yeah, the hotspot. For example, you can directly in this page, for example, we get start with the foyer, you can put the button to the proper position. Okay, my suggestion, sometimes I really prefer to manually to put some of the important viewing. For example, here, these are some normal viewing, but this one, for example, I really want to attract the clients. You can put your mouse here, and then you can see who is lighting up. Yeah, for example, this one. And then you can double click. Now we can turn to the editing for this kind of a viewing. You can put this angle to the proper position. Yeah. And then client will know, okay, now I can jump to this point, right? From current point to next point. And also here, if can show or not, you can just click on the activate or not. And then here the hotspot name, give a name, or those elements you want, for example, living room, close up, okay. Yeah. And if you can't type in the space, after you finish, for example, after you finish the typing, then click, okay, close up, viewing, and change. My suggestion, also my preference, I would like to change with a really different hotspot symbol. For example, change to here, or you have so many. You just need to click. Okay, you just need to click and also select. And also you can see actually we support different symbols regarding, for example, the different elements. Later I can show you. It's not only the just theme, but also we can manually add some more. Later I will show you. Now, hotspot detail. Okay, you can already have that. The large picture is here. And then save. See, we got a different view close up. Yeah, sometimes, for example, just now you see the default setting with a kind of, see, viewing like this. You need to manually to set them aside. Yeah, it's also a good habit, storage close up, because this angle I can show the, for example, the door open or door close. So I will stay with that. Yeah, how can we get this name change? You can either do it, or when you finish the, for example, when you finish the render independently for the panorama, independent panorama render, if you finish, you can just directly to click the correct name of one of the picture or the outcomes. Yeah, you can also, for example, do like doing here. Let me show you. After you finish all the render, if you want to give a proper name, you can click the project detail, and then you can see here, yeah, directly give the proper name, or let me show you with the gallery, okay? Turn it back to the gallery, okay, here. After you finish the render, we will turn to gallery to check our render outcome, right? At that moment, you can use the changing here in the gallery. See, we find out maybe, I think we have some. Wait a moment. Oh, wheels. Oh, no, not this one. This one. Yes. After you finish the render for each independent panorama, you can turn to gallery and then check here. See, yeah, directly click. Yeah, click the precise name, especially for the render. See, work unit or some of the, yeah, these are the texts that helps yourself, the text that can help yourself to do some notes. And then when you turn to some other operation afterwards, you can have a proper reference. You won't get messed up with so many same names, right? So you can use this, directly click and then type the proper text. Then you can use. Okay. So click off. Come back here, okay? And also, for example, here you see we have so many settings. Just need to put into the proper position, and you can also add a new hotspot. So this time, let me show you one of the the that we can do. This is close up. For example, this angle. This one, this is the another viewing. So you can either click here to go or click here to select. Yeah, we have so many. Just pay attention. Select the correct one. But that's also the reason that I really do not suggest you have so many different angles, but in one room. It will be quite complicated, right? And for example, here, now we have the standard viewing, and you can click the new hotspot. Okay, click for the new hotspot. Yet here you can have the hotspot type. See, these are the default setting from scenes, right? Just independent panorama. It's easy to understand. And then actually we can add something more. For example, here in hotspot, in hotspot, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 different kinds of elements to help you to persuade the client to accept their ideal design, full house design by yourself. Yeah. So by these, okay, scene, we just talked about that. Text. Okay, for example, you can give a name. Let's say the design style, for example, the TV, and let's say here, background. Okay. And then you can here, this is the name, and you can have the hotspot style. We have so many. For example, the basic, give one of the, let's say, hello. Okay, and then detail name. For example, using the dark, oak, wood. Yeah, give some names. Okay, with some different, more with more information, whatever you want, and click save. And now you can give this very specific index. So for example, put in here, and then to give more illustration and give them some reference. Yeah, more information reference. Sometimes you may mark out some of your selling point. Sometimes you can just give them notice. For example, this is the point in the previous time you really required, or some of the points that you really hesitating in. So you can give some information by this, okay, to communicate. Yeah, the hotspot means actually we are now going to have some more information communicate to the client. And also, not only for text, also image. Yeah, image is powerful for the client to know with so many different informations. For example, why they need to choose your, why they need to follow your suggestions, why is the best choice in your this kind of design. So you can give the image. For example, still talking about this one, you can just type in the reason or the advantage of choosing this, and then also give the name. Now you can add some more. For example, the different pictures, different viewings, and even here we support is not only your render result inside the case, but also we can use third parties. For example, some of your artwork result or the pictures of the product, yeah, the real photos of your productions. You can click and then click and then update, upload into the system and then save. For example, select. Yeah, you can select multi. Okay, you can select multiple pictures to show the details. For example, here, even panorama, and also if finish this picture, save. Okay, say finish this point, and then if I turn back to this one, yeah, the close-up viewing. Okay, and even here I can also give a proper view image, close up, view, space. You can also click here with only just pictures. And then, for example, here, click, or here, these two. Yeah. Why we need multiple selections is because actually sometimes in the panorama, you can take a view, you can only take a view with the not so proper angle, or your product details cannot be fully displayed by the panorama. You can add some more pictures, and then let the client get the willing, or they are curious about some of the symbol, and they will click by their finger, and then you can have the suitable opportunity to show to the client what you have, right? So these are some of the ways to invite them, and also the link. For link, it's just directly jump to, for example, you can turn to put the jumping link, for example, to your homepage for the productions, online product, or the online brochures, or some other instructions. And also, the link allows you to directly show the client, even sometimes to convince the client some of your production using is it really suitable, is really with the high end position in the market. So you can also use the link. Just need to type in the link. See, we got this. Yeah, it's easy. So I won't just do it. It's exactly the same. Just add to the spot. Don't forget to save. Okay, each time. Turn it back. And also, for example, here we also have the audio and videos. Yeah. If you want to have some of the audios, you can click, and then it will also get a proper autoplay, and then you need to upload the file. I remember some of the usage is to record down, for example, your voice, your instructions of the brand of your series of the product, or even just gives them a greeting. You can also upload, yeah, and then using this to put, to put in the corner, to put at the corner, and then you can directly click. The client will click and then feel it by their ears, right? And of course, you can put some on the music box and then some of the audio plays. Yeah, the device directly give them a interesting, just like the interesting experience to use to have in the panorama. And finally, don't forget here the video. Yeah, actually for video, you can also upload your own. For example, come and play. So you can also click, and now if you want upload locally, we have the maximum five sorry 50 microbyte. Yeah, you can upload the video, and also you can associate with the local, for example, the render outcome. Yeah. Here I don't have, but you can also use, for example, let me show this one to you. Uh, yeah. In this result, I think it's here. Which one? Yeah, see. Yeah. So you can not only show just by panorama, but you can also show by the video, the roaming videos, the video that you can you can have from the manual roaming paths and some of the content arranged, and then do the render. So for example, this also will be kind of a way. You see here, we have this one, you just need to put. Okay, so in total, we have 6 different ways to do that. And here, you can have, for example, for the different viewings, just need to change one by another. Yeah, the system will automatically give the result once you have any content here. For example, you have the render different points. Yeah, if you want, you can just manually to put in the proper position. Okay, so this is the hotspot. And for the music, it's easy. If you want music switch, and if you want to have, you can just yeah. These are all copy free, okay, copyright free. So you can directly use, okay, to show even for the business using. But if you use some local upload, maybe you need to know about the policy, okay, the policy of the your local market. So just pay attention about the legal authorization. Okay, and then you can click. Now you can just directly use the system preset, and then you can have the music on or music off. Okay, here. This is the music setting. Now I click off it. And then here, another thing very important is called the panorama sharing. Yeah, this is very, very important in order to help yourself to protect your resource, your business resource. Yeah, for example, the very basic one, first, publish or unpublish. If you don't want everyone to see it anymore, okay, click off. If you just want to have in a limit time, you can click set expiration time. Yeah, in here, the sharing, and then select the date. So for example, you can select the detail date, and even here you can see if you want, select the time. For example, if I want this kind of a panorama being seen widely, but only before end of today, I can click the set time, and here we can have so precise time, for example, till end of today, which means it will end up being visible, okay, before the last minute, the last second of today, 23, 59, 59, right? And also you can give some sharing content. You can either just give your ideal, the design ideal, or the thoughts of the how you think about this kind of decors. And also you can just remind them, just for example, description, just pay attention about the valid time of the date. So here will be also available for your showing. And some of the client, they really just, for example, they just, let's say it's dishonest, and just want some of the viewing, and then if they really ignore your work, you can just set them in order to protect yourself, right? If they really turn back to ask, click off, then it's fine. It's easy. Okay, click off. And the poster with the QR code you can download, but this one is really easy. I don't want to talk about it too much. You can also give some more, for example, the different viewings. But most of the time, we really suggest either you just need to copy the link or you use the QR code. You don't need to use some of the posters. Okay, so just pay attention about it. And also we got this password setting available. If you want, you can set. Yeah, it's easy. Okay, so this is the panorama setting. So see, it's kind of a really precise function with a tiny access, but you have so many to do the marketing work or to help to protect your resource. These are something related to the marketing issues, your operations, yeah. And finally, don't forget, yes, save. Okay, so this is the panorama sharing. Moreover, protect yourself. Okay, and the last two or three, they are the key for today. They are the keys for today. Yeah, we can use product changing and scenario marketing. It's the scenes on same screen. Just now you see that how it works. And here, style substitution. These three I would like to introduce reverse, okay? From style substitution, get star, finally we end up here with the product, okay? So let me show you this one. First, style substitution. Yeah, style substitution. Here, you can create. Okay, let me show you with the viewing here. This one, table setting. I think it's this one, yes, this view. Yeah, this table setting, for example, if you want to have a different combination for the introduced to the client, you can create the style substitution. And this kind of a function will allow you to directly have randomly comparing of the different result. The only thing you need to pay attention is the same render angle. Okay, I will show you again. The only limitation is the same render angle. Where we can find it? Here. Let me show you. Turn to the render. Assume that we finish all this decoration. Yeah, also the lights. Okay, now we turn to the image and video. 360 walkthrough. Okay, for example, I change previously I changed to another angle. So here, for example, now we can I just get a roughly render 2K. Okay, generate. And then don't forget, save the current angle. The key movement, the key behavior is to save this angle, to save this one, okay, and get a proper render. Due to the time, you can, I just choose 2K, but you can use the 5K. Yeah, only in Panorama, 360 walkthrough, only here, okay? During this moment, we turn back. For example, click this one, change. Now, change to client preference. For example, you can select your enterprise catalog. Assume that this is the second choice of the client. Okay, client's second choice. And put it here. Okay, now we get another render. This time, wherever it goes, click back. For example, this is the second, render again. Turn back, continue. Yeah, choose the preference from property library or your enterprise catalog. This is your determination. So just click and put. Yeah, whatever change. And also, not only this one, even for example, if you want to change furnishing, you want to change to some other elements, yeah, whatever it goes. The only requirement is the same angle. Even you delete everything. For example, if I delete everything, I hide everything. If I hide this floor furniture, I can also get a render. Yeah. To just have the same angle, but changing everything. So that is the way. That is the way. The viewing feels like we are now doing some of the changing, uh, production, replacing. Actually, it's two entirely same angle, same ambience of the render result, but the only difference of these two or these several panoramas is the main production that you choose. So you know how we do that, okay? Knowing that basic logic, then you can combine them together. Yeah. So here I won't waste more time because you see here, if I want to create in this kind of a panel, in this kind of a view, for example, this one, where is that? Okay, this one. Okay, so that's the reason. The first time you need to have at least one of the one of the angle of the render result, and then create. Okay, currently give the button name. For example, table style switching switch. Okay, and give the name. You can have the text with that. Okay, the text with the symbol. And now you can have the style substitution, the picture. Okay, if you want to save time, the easiest way, of course, is to upload the production picture. Yeah, if you want to save time here, just do the screenshot. It's also available, or you just need to have a proper angle of the product. Assuming that here I save on the on my desktop here. Click. Okay, I saved the picture. Or if you want, you can just upload. Yeah, and also if this belongs to enterprise library, you can also click from enterprise setting. These are something from the enterprise, so you can also select. Okay, and then give the product material name. For example, I name it as the modern style. Modern style. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 6%. And then here, the second thing is to add the style for substitution. Yeah, that's the reason why we need to use the same angle, because once you click here, the system will automatically to analyze those scenes that can be associated, because they share exactly the same angle, same render angle. Then you can click. For example, this is the second one. Okay. For example, here also upload. And this moment you can upload for some other productions. I just lastly select one. Okay, remember to select pictures or upload pictures. And then this one will be, because this is the second, will be the light loves style, and add some more. I just lastly select, okay. First, here, select this one, okay. Another, select the wrong, but it's fine. So give, for example, the brand. I just select the wrong one. Okay, it's fine. Okay, save. And now you can have this. Click save. Okay, table style switching. And then if you want a preview, you can take a look. This is the independent preview picture, the preview page. And let's turn to the table set. See, now we have different style related to the productions. See, yeah, this is the logic. This is the logic. Okay, so create style substitution. Yeah, you can continue to create another new one. Yeah, to have the not only one or two product, but also with some of the combination. Whatever you want to go, you can also use. Even for example, here I can show you this. It's really really classic using. So for example, take a look. here. Just now we used for day and night the same logic. Yeah, daytime, light off, the same, only with the exact same angle. And also here, why we if you have the if you are in the industry of customizing, it's really important to show to client. For example, here, this is the case that happen to have one of the corner, but with nothing, right? From the previous time, maybe some of the house owner they just know this, but they don't know how to use, or just wisdom to put some of the even sometimes put the trash, put the cleaning tools. But if you can tell them why we need the customizing, for example, the default corner, nothing, and if we have this kind of a corner covering with the pull-out basket, it will be different. And putting some of the productions, putting some of decorations, is really telling them that you can get the fully use of the customizing. The same status shows here for the style, for example. It really matters for some of the clients, especially they are hesitating which kind of choices is the best. For example, material. Sometimes material related to the full design style. This is the design style comparing, or for example, let's turn it back for the wall unit. For the entire design, for example, is it suitable for the different color combined, or a very precise comparison? See, yeah, which you prefer? And my suggestion from the previous using experience, I really suggest you just need to put the client's best choice, or they are the three or two of the options that the client really prefer, and mostly they are willing to pay for it. Yeah, they are maybe only for their final options, and just let them to compare and directly give the comparison. This is the best way, because after that they will know, okay, finally my best choice is which. Yeah, and this is also a kind of a way to invite themselves to putting forward for their final decisions. Yeah, that's why actually we talked about why today we talked about the walkthrough editor. It's really kind of a tool, especially this kind of comparison. It's kind of a tool to help us to push the leads, the selling leads, turn the design to deal. Yeah. So just pay attention about this. Whatever you want to compare, just change, render. Okay? Change, render, change, render. Of course, don't forget to use exactly the same angle, right? So you can think about it. How can we use for this kind of a function? The logic for this function is really easy. Yeah, you don't need to care too much. It's only about the same render angle and then to combine together. In the here, the style substitution. Okay, I just show you there, and then you can just create so many different comparison. Okay, and then here comparing, you can also see we have the scenario marketing. Okay, this is comparing with some of the design effect. For example, here, let me turn to one angle. You see, sorry, should be this one. Okay, this is the symbol, same on same screen. See, this is not only available for example, you're comparing from the everything blank in the room, yeah, to put totally nothing in the room, and then the result. And this even available for you to upload. For example, you can upload the real pictures, the real panorama pictures. Yeah, of course, you need to have the full screen, the camera, the 360-degree camera. I'm not sure if you know something related to that. Yeah, and then you can have taken the real photos, especially good for some of the business for renovation of the design, right? You want to create the different the result to let the client know. You can use this one. Where can we upload? Here. Let me turn to, for example, under this one. Mm, First, I need to select the proper views. Not this one. This angle, yes. Yeah, this angle. For example, here, first, activate the button. The second, give the button name. You can also select or just have the result. Button icon, easy to know. And this one, if you want, there's no same screen scenario. Okay, so we can either use upload or panorama or even link. Yeah. Today, talking about uploading, we have this kind of a fisheye diagram. Yeah, it's a kind of sphere, picture. I already prepared one for you, and I need to make sure which is. See, I think it's this one. Okay, you see, this is the sphere picture. Yeah, it's joined together. It's joined together, and you have scratch on the very top and the very bottom. So in total, it's a kind of sphere. And then when you turn here to upload, you can click uploading. I think it's, yeah, this one. Click. The system will automatically give the result. Yeah, if you have the proper, if it's done, you can drag to change. First, we need to wait a minute. Yeah, you can also click for panorama, but that's only for rendering. Yeah, also you can compare. But this, you see, this is the default result. This is the after. Then when if you have any difference here, you can drag to change. Okay, to change to the proper angle. Okay, and then perspect align. And also, even here, you can have the six picture. Okay, the hadron diagram is combination of six pictures. The entire sphere and camera result, you can also change to this. Of course, if you have the 360 the camera, 360 camera, it's easier. Okay, and just don't forget here, if you want, you can change new scenes or original. This is after, but now it's they need to get a reverse changing. This is not after, this is before, right? Before decor, and this one should be after. Okay, and then save, and then you can have the proper viewings. So this is how we do it, right? Of course, if you want to, for example, to compare. If you want to compare with some other, let's say some other styles, you can also use this kind of function by using the panorama select. We can list out all the design cases under your account, and then you just need to click and select the proper render and then confirm. The same logic. The system will also to have the result, the similar result, and then you need to manually to do the adjustment. Yeah, if you don't know how to do the adjustment, let me just show you. What you need to do is to check about the boundary. If it is in proper position, assume that you have already have one picture here, you just need to check. And also the size, if it is in proper position, and then just click perspective view alignment, and then you can have the proper result. Yeah. So after that, you can really show the client wowing. Yeah, the wowing result. It's not only just one picture, one panorama. You can really check about this regarding your current status of the house or those different design style you want. Okay, so this is the scenario marketing. Don't forget. Okay, it will always lies here. If you successfully settled with the proper related panorama, you can see here and click. You can have that result and to check all the status. Okay, click. So this is the scenario market. And here we also have final called production replacement. Okay, for production replacement, it's different from using of the style substitution. For style substitution, it will have no limit, no limit at all. Whatever you want to change, changing the design style for the ceiling, changing the combination of the customized unit, changing the status, whatever you want to change, you can compare, right? But for the product, it only support very basic furnishings and also some of the finishing. Only some, okay, some of the finishings, yeah, can change basically on the material. For the combination, for the construction changing, no, it can't support. This one, it can't support. It can only support the basic furnishing and some finishings. Here, I can show you that this one. Okay, I just lastly give you the demo. This is the product changing, and you can see this is the furnishing. See, we have this kind of a symbol. I can also give you the link if you want. I can share with you. Yeah, you can just try that on your device, and you can see here this is the picture. Okay, this is some of the illustrate picture from your production. For example, this function is only available for enterprise library. Yeah, which means if you want to use, you can only select those elements inside your enterprise library, and then you can see if you want to change, click and replace. See, yeah, click, replace back. Yeah, this picture is from the previous uploading from your admin account. And then you can select the picture, for example, sometimes even the real photo of your production. Okay, and then just click and replace. Now it changed. And also you can combine it with not only the furnishing, but also finishings. See, we do have, for example, mosaic, different mosaic. Replace. See, it also can be changed, but some of it may be not so proper. See that result? Replacement. Okay. Just pay attention about the different results. These are the combinations. So if you are in this kind of industry, let's say tiles or furnishings like sofas, beds, yeah, those loose furnitures, yeah, you can use this function. So how can we do it? Still here, I will use the empty house. Okay, this one. Let me show you. So first, still you need to have basic proper preparation. For example, at least the sofa, at least kind of a paving. But these are all from enterprise catalog. See, this is the element from my enterprise catalog. It's only available for the choices, the options. Okay, and then we got a render, of course, with the proper view. Okay, so here I already have one. For example, this. Yeah, this one is done. I just show you, for example, using this one. Okay, and then I can turn back to the editing. Don't forget the MPD house. Okay, project detail. Yeah, so you can see this one. Okay, in the editor. And now, if you don't do the finishing, of course you can see here. If you have that, when you click, for example, product, we got this. Okay, product list and product replacement. First is the list. For list, you can just select those elements you want, and then here, product replacement, you can see the system will analyze and then have your replaceable productions. For example, here, click. You can click sofa demo. If you want, you can add some more. This one up to your choice, whatever it goes. Yeah, always under the same catalog, and then you can have that. For example, I only have the catalog for this as sofa, the same catalog. Okay, the same type of the catalog. They are all sofas settings, and I can click start render. Yeah. If you whether to get started, if you want, you can get replaced about it. At least it won't take too long. It's not no longer than 3 hours. Yes, just about few minutes. Let's around 5 or 10 minutes, and you can just click start rendering. Okay, so it will replace or it will generate. The same for the logic of the pavings. Yeah, you need to first turn back and then do the render, turn back, give the paving, and then do the render. Let me just show this. Still turning back. Yeah, still, we need to turn to the project detail. Yeah, just using the last one, project detail. Last one, for example, here I got this panorama, both with finishing and furnishing. Click editor. And here, production. Now you see we not only having this one, we also have this. And then you can also add in product replacement. Once you can see that, you can have the result options and then add those elements you want. You can click and then start render. Then you can have it. Okay. So this kind of function is easy, but it will also give you a really flexible combination result, right? You just need to click and then change. Yeah, even sometimes you can have so many different multiple choice. For example, I want to compare with this kind of sofa set to dining table set, compared to the with the wardrobe, the decoration of the background wall and the wardrobe and other elements. Those elements, if you can have in enterprise library, the only requirement is they are in your enterprise library, then you can use. Okay, so far I think that's enough for today. You can see in the walkthrough editor there are so many different functions, but most of them directly linked to marketing behaviors, marketing policy, marketing strategies. Yeah, it will allow you to have more connections between your design work to clients' experience. And then what we need is to turn to the appreciate and experience to final dealings, right? To push them to admit, to admire your work, and finally close that deal with more confidence, with more convinced values, the directly the value they can see from their eyes and moving from their fingers. So this is the final points that why we today learn about the walkthrough editor. And I really hope that you can also try in with your half done cases. And when you do the render, don't forget, yeah, we do have the 720-degree VR tool. We do have the editor. Whether it goes with independent panel or the roaming link, try this and convince your client. Okay? No other questions? If no, I think that's all for today, and hope you can have so many helpful functions. Yeah, looking forward your work as well. So, end of the day, see you next time. Okay, bye bye.